one little thing I want to correct here before we move on. This uprising, this was a clubman. It has to stay on the side that's printed on the card. I switched it over. So this is clubmen with a strength 1. You also have these revolts. We got an uprising and a mutiny here, strengths 2 and 3. So clubmen's the weakest. But the benefit of clubmen, and this is the thing I didn't mention, is that they're neither parliamentarian nor royalist, really. So should the North activate again here, they'll have to deal with these clubmen. And what that means is they have to suppress these. So they're not going to advance, they're not going to push on this fortification until these clubmen are dealt with. Right, let's crack on. What have we got? We have the King attempts to arrest members of Parliament. Oh yes. Well done, Charles, this is going to make you popular. In 1642, King Charles attempts to end his troubles with the House of Commons by arresting Pym, Hampden, Hollis, Heselrigg and Strode. The attempt fails and the crisis worsens. These are the 5 that became known as the 5 members, the infamous 5 members. Yeah, Charles wasn't keen on... he thought that these guys were trying to encourage Scotland to invade England, and I think ultimately accuses them of treason with a plot to impeach the Queen because of her Catholicism, I guess. What we've got first, unrest in Ireland, in London, and Ireland activates twice. That's bad news for Ireland because we're going to move into Leinster, and then Dublin is already in Royalist hands. And this means that the Royalist army in Ireland is going to march on past Dublin into Ulster. And in turn, of course, that means we can no longer besiege this fortress and try and take it back, because we've got to push this army back to Munster first. Okay, unrest in London. London's currently sitting at 3. So we roll 1 die twice. I need higher than a 3 for the Royalists. They get it. So London goes down to 2. Second roll, higher than a 2. Yeah, they've got it. So London is on the edge now. Next. In an anti-Catholic backlash, Puritans destroy icons and stained glass windows. They use altar stones as paving bricks and protest against soft Protestantism. Okay, Puritanism gets a +1 die roll modifier. And then King Charles brings troops to Parliament to arrest his political foes in violation of parliamentary privilege and tradition. Monarchy comes down, Parliament comes down. Okay, that's not so good. Puritanism gets a +1. Monarchy comes back down. Parliament gets pushed down. Actions now. We've got 5 zeal. I was hoping to get this one, but now Parliament's down at B. We're a bit stuck. We could look at the petition of right. No, monarchy needs to be at A. But, you know, I feel I need to do something here, really. Let's start by trying to do something like Bristol here. Let's bring that down to 4. And let's besiege Bristol. We need higher than a 2. Okay. And then I think we'll fortify at least once. Twice? Yeah, twice. Committee of both kingdoms is out of reach because Parliament fell down. We need a 5 or a 6. Push that up. That's a real shame, isn't it? I do quite like it though, because its rewards are good. Let's try and go for that. So we'll spend a zeal to try and push Parliament back up. We need a 5 or a 6, because it's a 4 here. That'll fail. Try again. Okay. Fail. Okay, that was not good. At least we got 5 zeal back. Next. The Battle of Adwalton Moor. Okay. The dogged resistance of the heavily outnumbered Parliament Northern Association army was finally broken. Royalist victory secures Yorkshire and threatens the key fortresses of Bristol and Hull. Okay. I think I'll fight this battle against the West, because the North are going to activate and deal with those clubmen, and the West will activate. And if I've got them, this order does just stay there. Okay. We're not going to see our London trained bands or Prince Rupert appearing, but let's use Cromwell and Ironsides and grab a couple of random cavalry for the Royalists. Got a 4 at the top and a 2 down the bottom, that's good. And draw some units. Let's see what we've got. We have 5 and a 4, or a strong 3rd. Oh, we've got a 5 and a 3. Okay, not so bad. A 1 and a 3, the Royal Cornish Foot. We've got a 3 and a 3. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. No event cards this turn, so let's just crack on with the battle. In first, we've got 4v6. And that comes out as 10v9, that's a draw. In second, we've got 2v5. That's 4-10, that's a victory for Ironsides, good man. Okay, we've got 9 versus 8 here. That's 10 versus 10, that's another draw. Looks like this is going to go just one way here, guys. We've got 4 versus 6 plus 5, that's 9 versus 10. So again, that's a draw. Okay, we've got a draw. This means we lose 1 zeal. Not so good. And of course, these guys that are sitting in the recovery box, they'll become available next time. Okay, that's a shame. Never mind. Okay, North activates. So the North are going to kind of try and suppress these clubmen. All they have to do is roll higher than a 1, which they do. So the clubmen are removed. Now we activate the West. They're going to move into Somerset. And then we have to besiege or fortify Bristol and Hull. Okay, so the Royals are going to besiege Bristol, who's sitting here at 3. Good job, we fortified that. 4 or more. That's a fail. Second roll, 4 or more. Okay, that clicks down to 2. And then Hull. Hull's also in our control, sitting at 3, so 4 or more. We've got it. Now 3 or more. They've got it. So this is a constant battle, isn't it, against these fortifications. But we're holding up these armies of North and West, that's good. Next up, okay, we got some more DRMs here. We're quoting a Puritan rally cry. The pandas of the whore of Babylon. Weakness in the face of the Antichrist must not be tolerated. Puritanism gets +1 die roll modifier, and as does Parliament. Parliament passes the licensing order to begin censoring written material. This does quiet some of the unrest in Parliament. So that's Puritanism and Parliament. Okay, well I do feel like taking advantage of that die roll modifier on Parliament, so I'm going to spend a zeal. And we're looking for higher than a 4 with a +1 on the die. Okay, here we go. Yes, we got it. Alright. That pushes it back into the B zone. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to push my luck too much. We should try and do something about the North and the West. Just try and push the North back, and then we can try and fortify Hull. We need a 5 or a 6 on this. We got a couple of attempts at it. Shall I stick a die roll modifier on there? That'll give me 2 attempts. Get a 50-50. Or 3 attempts at 1 in 3. Odds are the same really, aren't they? So let's spend a zeal and put a die roll modifier on here. Because if I'm lucky, I could push it back more than once. So you're higher than 4 with a +1 on the die roll. And spend a zeal. That's a 2 + 1, that's 3, that's no good. Spend 1 more. Alright, that didn't pay off, did it? Never mind. Okay, we got it this time. Back to Chester. Okay, that's clear. back to 5-0. And the Irish Rebellion spreads. Oh no. The Irish Rebellion of 1641 produces violent clashes between Irish Catholics and Irish Protestants and forces from England. The Civil War would last until the 1650s. Okay, Ireland gets a +1 strength and activates. That's going to push it into the Irish Troubles box. If Ireland activates again, we're in trouble. Besiege or fortify Dublin. Fortify Dublin. Okay, next. The Catholic Church backs Irish rebels against the Scottish Covenanters and English forces. Ireland comes down the track. And we're going to lose a zeal point. Parliament stops royalist spending in London, closing theatres and banning holidays. London would provide 25 to 33% of all money supporting Parliament's war efforts during the English Civil Wars. So we lose the zeal and Irish comes down. We're back down to 4 zeal and Ireland, oh no, Ireland's made it into the F box, which gives +1 strength to the Ireland army. Okay, so we take this token and this goes here. Now this one's permanent as opposed to this one, which is going to get cleaned away at the end of the round. Things are looking sweet here. Ireland's a real problem. I think it's just going to be burning up zeal. Let's take this while I can because it's got a good reward, a decent reward. The Committee of Both Kingdoms, we've met all these conditions. It costs 4 zeal and it says immediately attack the Scotland Army unit twice for free. So this is another one to add to my pile. It's wiped me out, which is obviously risky. But I don't mind too much. I mean, I do want to show you what happens when these things start encroaching on us. But I do get to attack the army in Scotland, who've got a strength of 3 right now. So 4, 5 or a 6. First one's a fail. Remember, I get to do this twice. So the second attack. Yes! It just crept in over at a 5. So we get pushing back to the Highlands. Incidentally, if I did succeed twice, if he's already at the highest region 5 here, and I beat him again, he would have just flipped over to disordered. Okay, that's it. This one goes away, making Ireland a little bit easier next time. Okay, let's see what happens. It's another achievement, the Root and Branch petition. Oh, that's quite good. Next, the Battle of Stratton. It says in 1642, Royalist forces of the Army of the West, desperately short of food and ammunition, defeat the numerically superior parliamentary forces and secure the southwest for the King. Ireland North and West are going to activate. Let's do that one on the west again. And once more, Cromwell in here. I think I'll put the London train units, the London train bands down here with Ironsides. Let's draw some random units. There we go. Well, contrary to history, the Royalist army looks like it outnumbers us. It's pretty close. Not pretty, but we got one event card here, so let's see what we get. God made them a stubble to our swords. Retain this card. During step 7 of the battle sequence, so that's after the outcome, play this card after any parliamentary victory to gain 2 benefit points. Okay, that's pretty cool, but it's going to be tough to get a victory this time. Okay, let's start rolling them. So first, 3 versus 6. That's a victory. That's 9-11. So Cromwell is victorious. He'll come down and join the third. Second, it's Prince Rupert again against Ironsides. So this one could be dodgy. But we got an okay roll. It's a draw. Okay, third then. So now we've got 15. Oh, sorry. plus 3. We got 12 versus 11. Okay, so we just managed to, with Cromwell's support, tip things in our favour. So 11 versus 12. Oh no! It's a defeat. Well, Cromwell goes off there, but these guys get beaten. Okay, the final one, and this could be significant. 8 versus 6. It's not looking good. That's 12 versus 9. Yeah, it's bad, guys, because these are defeated. We've lost the battle. If things are closer, you can pull these down into the draw box to kind of tip the battle into a draw, but no, it's a solid defeat. Okay, fortunately we didn't lose these guys. Okay, if the majority of your units are here, then the outcome is defeat. The affected army unit gains +1 strength. We lose a zeal, and monarchy advances down the political track. So the army of the West gains some strength. We lose a zeal, and monarchy heads down into the C zone. That's unfortunate. We've got one named unit here as well, so potentially we might lose them. It's a 2. That unit is permanently removed from play. We've lost our London train bands. Okay, let's continue this event. We got Ireland activating, the North and the West activating. Okay, so let's deal with Ireland first. So now with the Ireland army in the one spot and activating, what you'll do is, if this army activates, you fortify Dublin. Alright, so we'll push this fortification round. If Dublin is already at its maximum, or when it reaches its maximum, and only then you go off to look at the Irish Troubles track. So here we are at the start position, and all you do is you pull down the political marker on this spot, and then push it round, follow the arrows, so next time it will be Scotland. So that was a pretty destructive turn so far. Right now we've got the North activating, well they're just going to move in on York, and then the West activating, and they're going to besiege Bristol, which is sitting here at 2 at the moment. So anything higher than a 2 pushes Bristol down. I'll get one more roll. There's a 3. Okay, they've taken Bristol. Bad news, guys. Okay, what's next? Parliament's Lagan army decisively defeats O'Neill's army of the Irish Confederation at the Battle of Glenmaquin on the 16th of June 1643. The Irish suffered heavy battlefield losses. Catholicism gets a +1 die roll modifier. Political battles in Parliament ensue over the conduct of the war and lead to unrest. Radical backbenchers in the House of Commons attack the high nobility members. Parliament comes back down the track. So it's bad times, it's bad times. Catholicism gets a +1 and Parliament comes down the track. This is not good, is it? Not good, not good. I've got to do something about the West here, I think, even though it's got a +1 strength. That's only a 6, a roll of a 6. I don't like that. Okay, Ireland is sitting there at 4 strength. Let's try and push them back. We need a 5 or a 6. That's a fail. Let's do it again. That's a fail. Let's go again. I don't like this +1 modifier down here. I've got to go for the Irish one more time. Yes, we got it! Okay. It's only one step, but they're back in Ulster. We're back up to 4 zeal. This goes. Okay. And this goes. So maybe we can do something about the West next time. Okay, that'll do for now. Join me next time as we continue Cruel Necessity.